Hello and welcome to The Pulse. Hong Kong's property prices are notoriously high. The annual US-based Demographia Global Housing Affordability Survey has ranked it as terrible for the 7th consecutive year and ranks Hong Kong as the world's least affordable urban centre in which to buy a home. And no, it's not an illusion. Those homes really are shrinking. The average living area per person in Hong Kong has shrunk by almost 30%, from 67.6 square feet to 47.8 square feet. And if the old shoeboxes were not small enough, we now have the so-called nano flats. More on those later in the show. The people who run the government, however, have come up with a new housing solution. They're saying if Hong Kongers can't afford Hong Kong, they should go and live in the mainland, or more precisely, the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area. That's the advice from outgoing Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying and Financial Secretary Paul Chan. Last Wednesday, Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying led a high-powered delegation to 6 Guangdong cities on a 3-day tour to show their enthusiasm for the increased assimilation of Hong Kong into the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area. The idea of creating a Greater Bay Area dates back to a 2015 Beijing policy paper on the Belt and Road Scheme. The area incorporates Hong Kong, Macau and 9 cities in Guangdong. According to its proponents, it will make the area more competitive. The combined GDP of these 11 cities is double that of San Francisco's Big Bay, close to that of New York's Big Bay, and the region has an import-export trade of $1.5 trillion US, more than 3 times that of the Tokyo Bay Area. Last Saturday, after returning from the trip, Leung said in a radio program that Hong Kong's financial and professional services could play a key role in the Bay Area and that his administration had started making plans.
國家發改委定嘅時間表呢，就係需要4月底我哋就要提呢個素材，5月呢就要喺佢嘅第一稿嗰度提意見，咁所以本屆特區政府唔能夠等到下一屆特區政府做。
Financial Secretary Paul Chan also joined Leung on the trip. He says the Bay Area could also become a retirement and holiday hotspot.
有啲人呢，譬如走去恩平住一晚浸下溫泉唔需要去到日本咁遠咯
I'm puzzled and disappointed. All we hear from our top government officials is that we should make good use of the opportunity. I think they should inform Hong Kong people the challenges, the problems, the difficulties ahead. The kind of development strategy we face in Guangdong demands a total response from Hong Kong, from the economy, from the financial services sector, banking sector, down to our education system, to our social security, our social services system. So in this integration process, how can we, Hong Kong people, maintain our core values, our lifestyles, our systems, our institutions will be a very, very serious challenge.
香港人喺香港裏面都係被規劃嘅喎，咁去到一個由北京嗰度或者廣東省政府咁樣去從上而下去壓落嚟嘅嘢，咁香港人就更加被規劃。 所以香港人係雙重被規劃嘅狀態嚟嘅，而家係你一定要攞翻呢一個城市呢個土地嗰個規劃呢啲決定權咯。咁你由自己嗰個香港境內嗰度做起啦。你境內嗰度有啲成績咧，其實係會令到大家有更加高嘅意識同埋能量咧，去影響你點樣去同其他城市嘅互動啊嘛。
With me in the studio are Lau Ping-cheung, non-official member of the Economic Development Commission and the chairman of the Liberal Party, Felix Chon. Can I come to you first? You were on this now famous trip, to the Big Bay area. What did you discover as being the economic advantages to Hong Kong of participating in this scheme?
The trip was actually very inspiring and very educational. We discovered that The eastern part of Guangdong has been pretty well developed and still growing and still developing, and yet the western part of Guangdong is a little bit behind. Well, in fact, certain areas are pretty much behind. If you look
And where does Hong Kong fit into all
I think
of
the Hong
this?
Kong fit in is that with the forthcoming completion of Hong Kong-Macau bridge, the connectivity from the eastern part of Guangdong and Hong Kong will then be will be able to connect up to the western part of Pearl River Delta area, where the GDP per capita is, some of the areas actually nearly 1/3 of that of Shenzhen and Guangzhou. And as you know, Hong Kong enterprises and Hong Kong companies have been doing business mostly in eastern part of Guangdong. And the western part has been, to a certain extent, not well taken hit of. And now this is the opportunity.
As well as being leader of the Liberal Party, you're a businessman in the textile sector. How is this going to help Hong Kong do business? Or is it?
Well, right now I do not see any opportunities or benefits to Hong Kong at this moment. Well, I mean, without this plan or policy from the central government, we already can go to invest in those areas, and we can also have business with that area already. I mean, right now there's no particular benefit or for example, tax benefits of that area that can benefit to the Hong Kong enterprises. So at this moment, I do not see any particular advantage.
As a legislator, are you concerned that it may also require fresh investment from Hong Kong in mega projects to make this concept work?
It's not necessary that the central government say, oh, this is a very good place we should invest. I mean, we can invest over there anytime without the policy from the central government. So at this moment, I do not understand.
Isn't that the crucial point?
I think
that you know, all of this stuff is happening. What actually
I
new
think,
is going to happen?
I think Felix is right to a great extent that we are already investing in this region, in this area, without this Big Bay Area concept. But then the second part of it is that going out, if we can team up with the Guangdong enterprises going into the Belt and Road area, particularly in the Southeast Asia region, I think there is this +1 + 1 is more than 2.
So many schemes. Hong Kong joined APEC, that was supposed to do it. One Belt, One Road is supposed to do it. The Transatlantic Partnership is supposed to do it. I mean, every 2 years there's a new scheme that says exactly what you're saying.
Well, every countries in the world are doing exactly the same thing, not just in this region.
No, I'm talking about Hong Kong.
Hong Kong's the same. Hong Kong's no different
Hong Kong's a member of all of these things.
No, exactly right. So we have to go in parallel in various avenues. Whatever avenues there is available to Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong will have to tap into it. Now, this is a joint effort by 4 different jurisdictions: the Fat Goi Wai, the Central Government Development and Reform Commission, the Guangdong government, Hong Kong government, and Macau government. So you have to have a joint input, and you have to iron out all the differences. As I said, we have different systems, we have different framework, we have different legal systems, jurisdictions, everything. You have to iron out all these differences.
You know, the suspicion lingers that this actually doesn't have anything to do with business at all. This is essentially a political plan.
Have the plan like that as said by Paul Chan, the financial secretary. He said the property price over in that area may be 20%, it's only 20% of Hong Kong. So for those people cannot afford in Hong Kong, may live over there.
But they can, live, there, they can live there today.
Well, I mean...
And do, but actually. Quite a lot of retarees do live over the border.
But without this sort of infrastructure. Now we have 4 new bridges. I mean, now if you go from Hong Kong to, for example, Zhuhai, it takes at least 2 hours. But with that new infrastructure, it might take only 1 hour, 45 minutes.
So you genuinely don't think that this is anything to do with politics? You think this is purely an economic...
Well, at this moment, I do not see any... What politics?
Well, the politics presumably are greater integration, removing the differences between the 2 SARs and Guangdong.
Well, it could be, but it may last... It may take at least 20, 30 years to have this happen. For example, after 2047, that might happen, I don't know.
But whether you like it or not, I think the integration between Hong Kong, Macau, and particularly Guangdong are happening very fast. If we have our own legal system, we maintain our own financial system and our own customs and immigration system, then we have this edge. People are complaining that in Guangdong, in China, we cannot have free access to internet. But it is because of this restriction that Hong Kong is so unique. They have foreign exchange control, and people are complaining that money cannot flow freely. But this is the advantage, Hong Kong. This is the disadvantage in China, but it's the advantage for Hong Kong because we maintain that free flow of capital in Hong Kong, free flow of information, internet access, etc. That makes Hong Kong so unique that they have to make use of Hong Kong. They come to Hong Kong and do business, use Hong Kong as a platform to go in outside.
And are you worried that these sort of schemes diminish that series of differences?
Well, that's really depends on whether the central government will have this Bay Area to be another economic zone, special economic zone, and allow the free flow of cash, free flow of information, free flow of everything that Hong Kong already has the benefit on. So we have to wait and see what's the framework that the central government is going to launch in October. I mean, until now we got very little information about that.
But I think we would like to give input to them before they finalize the plan. That's a bit late.
Okay, well, lots of input coming. Thank you both very much indeed, and we'll be back after the break. We'll see you then. Welcome back. It's no surprise that Hong Kong's property prices are outrageous. In other countries, $8 million might get you a waterfront villa on Lake Como in Italy. In Greece or many Eastern European countries, it's enough to buy a nice house. In Thailand, a resort-style villa in Phuket. But in a new development in Hong Kong, well, it's just about enough for a 270 square feet so-called nano flat.
我哋做出嚟嘅成績粒粒皆實苦，係希望咧中產唔會越住越細，越住越差。
放置喺玻璃大窗旁，床鋪加上特異放置。
Facing soaring land and property prices, many first-time home buyers are struggling if they haven't already given up in the world's priciest housing market. Many would-be homeowners say they just can't compete against investors and speculators. Kenson Kwok is planning to get married in May next year. He has already spent the past few years in a futile search for an affordable, decent-sized apartment.
譬如我都有睇過一個新盤咧，係喺西環嗰邊嘅。咁喺個 budget 裏邊嘅話，其實我見到買到係200幾尺，咁仲細過而家屋企嗰個公屋。咁間房咧，基本上咧淨係可以擺張床咧6尺長嘅啫。咁如果你後邊想擺多對拖鞋咧，基本上都唔夠位，對拖鞋要打橫咁樣打平擺。咁同個 agent 講話，哇冇可能嘅喎。咁如果第埋細路仔，咁張 BB 床擺邊咧？擺出廳嘅喎。一係就爸爸瞓出廳咯。我之前睇個樓盤咧，個廚房應該咁大到啦。
Kenson also questions how functional the mini open kitchens of many of these flats are. The science teacher conducted his own experiment on how to prepare a meal in a nano kitchen.
咁即係可能我要熄咗個爐，拎去個煲都唔知拎去邊，擺咗喺腳度先。咁我先可以洗菜啦。
即係點解煮飯嘅時候個煲喺腳底咁樣棘住你做嘢？
咦係喎，即係我又要褪翻個煲出嚟先喎。等我褪翻走個煲先可以煮飯。哇！點煮嘢食啊？真係。
Calling the nano unit plots incredible, Kenson finally decided to purchase a 600 square foot flat in Tuen Mun. According to the government, the number of completed nano flats, flats no larger than 215 square feet, has been rising significantly. More than twice as many were built last year as the year before, more than 3 times as many as in 2014. The increase has been especially marked in the central western district on Hong Kong Island. One example is the newly built Ava 128 located in Sai Ying Pun. Here, a 177 square foot apartment costs a little under $4 million. Once you're in the flat, you can touch both walls just by spreading your arms. The bathroom door is about 57 centimeters wide. Many would have to turn sideways to get through it. Taiwan is facing a similar phenomenon. Housing rights activists there as here worry that the increasing prevalence of these tiny units places extra pressures on families.
台湾也是房价贵嘛，所以它 one bedroom 相对于购买的价格，等于进去的门槛比较低，所以他们非常会发展这样的 one bedroom。台湾相关的建筑法规还是会规范一个叫最小居住的面积。你们人口会持续增加，因为可能还有中国内地的移入。那同时价格也因为这样的一个供给很紧张，价格持续的高涨。那我觉得这个部分上，其实问题的考驗可能比台灣還嚴重。
我都相信緊一個人嘅基本嘅生活嘅一個環境應該係點樣啊？即係就唔係因為你即係越縮越細，即係只要你瞓得低就得。咁我覺得呢個唔係一個人應該有嘅一個嘅生活嘅狀況啦。如果你係再發展落去，其實咪應該要限咗再發展商你最低限度嘅 size 有幾大，咁先係幫到嗰個即係我哋啲香港人嘅生活嘅條件就唔會越嚟越差。
One of the most recent private development projects, Cheung Kong's Harbour Glory in North Point, tops the chart for the Eastern District. Some of its apartments have sold for as much as $40,000 per square foot. In some cases, where it provides exclusive access to the apartment, the lobby between the flat and the lift is also considered part of the saleable floor area. Some buyers have paid approximately $2.6 million for this space. And it's not just the private property market that's volatile. The city saw a record sale of home ownership scheme flats earlier this week. A 592 square foot unit in Tai Kok Cho's charming garden sold for a staggering $8.82 million. According to some in the property market, mainland buyers are playing a large part in driving property prices up.
For the mainland Chinese high net worth individuals, they are cash rich. And they're looking for outbound investment. They are looking for overseas investments, especially in the property market. That's why I don't see the cooling measures or the stamp duties affect them. When we do the survey for the residential transactions in the past few years, for the amount over 30 million Hongkies, about 50% of these transactions, they are all mainland Chinese buyers.
As property prices get further out of reach of ordinary families, lawmaker Edward Yu is proposing the idea of cooperative housing, in which the government shoulders the land price and residents take on construction costs.
We should provide housing units which are not for investment purpose. So it would not increase in price or in rent, no matter, right, the private market is changing. For a family, if they would like to live in a 600 square feet housing unit, then the construction cost is about $1 million. If talking about a 20 years mortgage, it is about $6,000 a month. So it's quite affordable, right?
如果上向流動咧，我成日話咧就係我哋係咪置業係唯一一個途徑啊？呢個我成日都好 question。所以對於譬如林鄭月娥佢提出就話即係我哋佢嘅成個房屋政策就鼓勵香港人置業咧，其實坦白講我就即係有啲反感嘅，因為我覺得點解香港人唔係可以選擇佢係即係置業啊，定還是係我哋租住咧咁樣？
一位5歲嘅小朋友問過我呢個問題，行政長官，我大個咗。住邊度？香港仲有冇足夠嘅土地？
One Kai Tak is the first project to be sold under the Hong Kong Property for Hong Kong People policy. Yet, Ming Pao Daily recently disclosed that a retired staff member from the liaison office of the Central People's Government bought 2 units under a single agreement. As a first-time home buyer, she was able to evade stamp duty for the 2 flats. It's a tactic that's been increasingly used by investors. 2 weeks ago, the chief executive finally plugged that particular loophole by charging first-time buyers 15% stamp duty if they buy more than 1 unit at a time.
咁所以可能喺開頭 planning 嗰度，我都覺得佢應該真係要諗清楚，有啲咩可能性係會人哋即係走你啲法律罅啦。咁最尾其實我都知佢想個嘅最尾用家係我哋，但係其實佢發覺推咗好多地出嚟，最尾用家都唔係我哋嚟嘅喎。可能係其他投資者啊，或者甚至國內投資者都好多都係俾咗佢哋買咗嘅。
This policy can reduce this type of transactions but it won't affect the transaction volume or even the property price. Because if you look back into the past few months, for many new developments, they are all oversubscribed.
Well, that's it from us for this week. On Wednesday, Youngspiration members and former lawmakers Sixtus Leung and Lau Ping-cheung were arrested and charged with taking part in an illegal assembly in Legco last November when trying to retake their oaths. A day later, 9 others, including members of Demosisto and the League of Social Democrats, were arrested and charged with inciting others to cause public disorder in a protest last November. The pro-democracy camp says the arrests are part of a wave of political persecution and will do nothing to heal social divisions. The DAB argue that these prosecutions are legitimate. Here at The Pulse, we'll do our best to stay on the right side of the law. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Well, we made it,